I finished the main story of Ghost of Tsushima 2 weeks ago and I'm trying to get all missing achievements right now. Is Ghost of Tsushima still worth a playthrough and do I recommend the game in 2024? All this and more in today's review. Ghost of Tsushima, where should I start? I've already played through Ghost of Tsushima on the PS4 back then and I can tell you after around 70 hours of playtime that it's still a masterpiece. Let's start with the game's greatest strength, the graphics and the vibe of Ghost of Tsushima. The game already looked insanely good on PS4 back then and looks even better on PC today. The vibe when you ride your horse through the different biomes or the hidden areas on the island are simply beautiful. There are many quiet and sometimes deserted places such as temples or houses which invite you to meditate in peace or play the flute. However, it's not just the setting, such as changes in the weather or day and night cycles, that make Ghost of Tsushima so beautiful, but also the small details. When you move through the tall grass and the grass moves with you, or when you walk through a pile of leaves and it's slightly stirred up. Even individual combat movements influence the environment and lead to a strong immersion in the game world. The water is not the best water that has ever existed in a video game, but waterfalls also look really great in the game and lead to a well-rounded image of the game world. It's really the overall picture that makes Ghost of Tsushima so special. The combination of the music, the sounds around you, the fog, the lightning and the beautiful elements outside make the game world very immersive and alive. Ghost of Tsushima is still one of the most beautiful games on the PC in 2024 and I'm curious to see if we might get another ray tracing mode in the future. The main characters also look very good and fit well into the game world of Tsushima. Each of them has unique characteristics and their own story, all of which are playable and were also very exciting as side quests. With such great graphics, the question is how good is the performance? And overall the performance was pretty good for me. I was able to play the game in 2K in max settings with my RTX 4070 at an average of 120 FPS without any problems. Thanks to DLSS 3.5 and frame generation, you can play Ghost of Tsushima smoothly at high settings even with poorer graphics cards. A big compliment must be given to the developers, who have managed to port from console to PC perfectly. I encountered very few bugs and only very few FPS drops. You can play the game constantly with a very good performance even with mid-performance PCs, which is no longer common for a game like this with such graphics in 2024. The game is really well optimized compared to other games. There are not many bugs, but I encountered one pretty annoying bug sometimes. Due to an audio bug, for example, you may not be able to hear individual elements such as voices or battle noises and only hear parts of the overall audio. This is particularly annoying in conversations when the audio suddenly cuts out and you can't hear what your dialogue partner is trying to tell you. I hope the whole thing will be fixed as I had this bug very often on Iki Island, but fortunately hardly ever in the normal game. Let's talk about the story of the game. At the beginning of the game, the samurai army of Tsushima is almost wiped out in a huge battle against the Mongols. Jin Sakai, the game's protagonist, barely survives and is rescued by Yuna, a thief. Jin realizes that traditional samurai tactics are not enough to defeat the superior Mongolian forces. He therefore begins to use unusual tactics for a samurai, which leads him on the path to the Ghost of Tsushima. During the game, Jin gathers allies including former samurai, rebels and ordinary citizens who are willing to fight against the Mongols. He also has to deal with internal conflicts as his new methods are against the honorable samurai principles he was raised on. In the course of the story, Jin liberates parts of the island from occupation, rescues hostages and sabotages enemy operations. He learns the secret about the Mongol plans, which leads him to a showdown with Khotun Khan, the antagonist of the game. His uncle Lord Shimura is also an important figure for Jin. He taught Jin how to fight like a samurai after the death of Jin's father, and therefore plays an important role in the game. These are just a few details about the story of Ghost of Tsushima. If you want to know how the story ends, you have to play the game yourself. Now we come to the gameplay. The gameplay in Ghost of Tsushima is very good and a lot of fun. The gameplay already felt very satisfying on the console and the game also plays great on the keyboard and mouse. Your main weapons are, of course, your katana and your tanto. You can upgrade these in the course of the game in exchange for materials from the blacksmith. You also have a short bow and later in the game a long bow. You use the katana to fight your opponents with different fighting styles, such as the stone stance, the water stance, the wind stance and the moon stance. Each fighting stance has different techniques and attack options. You can quickly change your fighting stance in the middle of a fight and therefore be very effective against the right opponent. You can unlock the different fighting stances one by killing Mongol leaders. You can then improve them further with technique points. The Tanto serves as a kind of assassin weapon with which you can kill enemies quickly and quietly without being noticed. There are also charms in Ghost of Tsushima which can give you unique advantages on and off the battlefield. There are golden charms which you can obtain from shrines and normal charms. You have a total of 2 slots for golden charms and 4 slots for normal charms. These charms can give you advantages such as doing more damage in a fight if your opponent only has half their HP, or other advantages such as finding more materials. In addition to the charms, you can also improve your performance on the battlefield with other upgrades, such as the samurai skill tree, with, for example, further improvements for perfect parries or various dodge options. In addition to the samurai skill tree, there's also the ghost skill tree. This mainly improves stealthy aspect of combat. For example, you have the option of unlocking kunais or different bombs. The mythic combat arts are a special feature in the game. There are 4 mythical abilities which can be learned through great and really interesting stories. The Heavenly Strike, Dance of Wrath, the Way of the Flame or the Explosive Arrow. All of these 4 legendary combat arts are very useful to use in the fight against your enemy and make a lot of fun to master them. As you can see, Ghost of Tsushima offers many ways to defeat your enemy. This is mainly due to the fact that Jin is both a samurai and a ghost and therefore also uses non-samurai weapons in battle. You can make lots of cool combinations in combat and have a wide range of options for defeating your enemies. I really have to say that the combat in Ghost of Tsushima is very good and a lot of fun. It's not too easy but not too difficult either and offers great opportunities to improve your fighting techniques at any time in the game. The battles in Ghost of Tsushima were not too difficult on normal level, but not too easy either. You are rewarded in the game when you have mastered individually techniques and can perform cool combinations. Another plus point of the game is how the devs have designed the directional signs in the game. In the game you are guided by the wind. You can also upgrade it, which will not only lead you to marked locations on the map, but also to fog stands or bamboo strikes for example, or any other possible collectibles and upgrade locations. The wind is not too disturbing, but it's noticeable enough to make it easier to find your way to the next destination. This is a very nice solution and fits in perfectly with the Japanese flair of the game. Let's take a quick look at the general skins. You can buy skins for your katana and tanto from merchants in exchange for flowers. However, you can also find different pillars in the world of Tsushima, where you can also find cool skins for your katana. There are really a lot of different skins for your weapons, all of which I really like. You also have a large selections of outfits for Jin, which you can find in the course of the game, whether armor, mask or helmet. There are a lot of skins which you can choose for Jin. Some armor you get through missions, special ones even as a mythical story. Many armors can be colored differently in exchange for flowers at the various merchants. There are also countless different masks and hats that you can collect during the course of the game. I think the cosmetics are very well done in this game. You can look more like an assassin with different pieces of equipment, or like the strongest samurai in Tsushima with other pieces. Really great cosmetics with great potential for cool combinations. Of course you also have a large selection of different skins for the short bow and the long bow. But how long does it actually take me to play through Ghost of Tsushima and what did I like the most in the end? You will need around 35 to 40 hours to play through Ghost of Tsushima. For 100% I would estimate at least 90 hours, as there are really quite a few side quest challenges and collectibles. The side quests and challenges are also very well designed and don't get boring in the long run. In addition to the main game, you can also play the Iki Island expansion in the Ghost of Tsushima Direct Cut version on Steam. This also offers up to 10 hours of extra content plus additional side quests and more skins and collectibles. On Iki Island you have to defeat the eagle and free the population, but there's also an exciting twist here. I really enjoyed the expansion and I hope there will be more DLCs for the game in the future. In addition to the normal single player mode, there's also the Legend mode, the online mode of Ghost of Tsushima. I haven't tested the mode by myself yet, but according to others it should be a lot of fun. I think you get a very good game for 60 euros with Ghost of Tsushima, which is still one of the best single player games on the market in 2024. The large open world of Tsushima is very detailed and beautifully designed and invites you to explore. Japan as a setting is of course absolutely wonderful and looks even better on PC. The story is great, the gameplay is a lot of fun and the graphics are simply perfect. The game has almost no flaws in my eyes and I'm hoping for a sequel soon. In my opinion, the game is definitely worth the 60 euros, especially for Japan fans, and offers a great, impressive gaming experience. Have you already played Ghost of Tsushima? And if so, how did you like it? Let me know in the comments, I would love to hear from you. If you liked today's video, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any more open world gaming videos. Also check out my other videos such as my breakdown of the upcoming game Assassin's Creed Shadows, as well as my first impression video of Ghost of Tsushima. Thank you for watching and I will see you guys in the next video.